welcome to the HustleWingPodcast. And today we've got Amit from the Hush app. And
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for having me on the podcast. So, yeah, my name is Amit Sikdar, and I was trained as an aerospace engineer to start with, which now seems like a lifetime ago. Because since then, I started my own business back in India, did my MBA, and then moved into data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And then I moved to US after selling my business off in India. I moved to US and worked here for a couple of big companies like Fox. I was leading their data science team, then at Viking Cruises and a couple of others. And then finally I got to start Hush. So Hush is all about creating an anonymous community. As we have seen nowadays, especially with the cancel culture getting stronger, where people are getting cancelled for even smaller reason, and it makes people afraid to discuss things, share things, because they get because they feel judged, because they feel ridiculed. So that's where Hush comes in, that anyone on the platform is anonymous to every other person on the platform. And because you are anonymous to every other person on the platform, that mask of anonymity gives you the courage to speak of your mind, and then to have a frank discussion around topics like race, religion, community, gun violence, whatever it be, depending on your reason, politics, whatever it is. So that's what Hush is all about. So you can post on Hush as an individual, or you can be part of a group also. So we have different groups that you can create, you can become a moderator of, or you can simply post in those groups, and you can find like-minded people all around the globe. Right now, we have 130,000 users from 150 countries, and all this without any paid marketing, all organic growth. And in less than 11 months, we have achieved this growth. So that's where we are at right now. The engagement is pretty high, and we are hoping to end 2024 with 1 million monthly active users. So to start with, me and my co-founder, we were users of similar apps in the past, and we saw them going downhill pretty fast. One of them kind of survived, but it also went downhill. And finally, it has been taken off the iOS App Store as well, because the situation got so worse there. They completely gave up on content moderation and everything. And if you are anonymous, you cannot give up on content moderation. It's for any social media, whether public or anonymous. So we were very strong on that. We had learnings from that. And based on those learnings, we implemented features in our app where we gave the users more power in their hand in terms of reporting other users, in terms of reporting content and all. And that way, users are empowered to make those decisions, as well as they feel included in the decision-making process of the app. Okay, I have a say. We keep on regularly interacting with them. And while interacting with them, they keep taking their feedback and implementing at our end. So they have been happy about that part, that whatever they say is at least being heard, which was lacking in the previous setup that were there. And now, we are kind of in a blue ocean kind of place where we are the only major player at this moment, and we are evolving here, coming up with all these features and all. So we have been working on a web version, which will come soon.
That's interesting. And then tell me, in terms of 2024, what are the current projects that you are working on within the app in terms of development? What is coming out, new features? So what are the current projects, and what are those challenges in those projects in terms of working? That'll be interesting to know as well.
So there are three major areas that we are working on within the app. The first area is we already have a machine learning based content moderation system. But as you know, whenever you put a content moderation system in place in any social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, there would be some malicious users who will try to bypass it by creative use of phrases or combinations and all. So we are focusing on bolstering our machine learning algorithm more and more with all this training data that we have been collecting for the past year, so that we can have better content moderation, so that we can provide better experience to our users. That's one. Second part is we have noticed that in our app, since we have a local tab feature, using the local tab feature, you can see posts around your area from 5-mile radius to 150-mile radius. And as the number of users will keep growing, we will keep making this area shorter and shorter. So right now you can, so because we show you the local content, so a lot of people like to initiate DMs with the local post. And through those DMs, people actually end up meeting and dating also, which was an unintended consequence, but a happy consequence nonetheless.
An unintended consequence, but a happy one.
Happens that when you are anonymous to the other person, you know that the other person doesn't have a bias about you, because he doesn't know what's your color, what's your like nationality, what's your like accent and anything. He doesn't take any of those into account. So because that bias is gone, people tend to open up more, tend to share more about themselves. So when they reveal more about themselves and their true self, then often they connect with the other person better. So the other person is like, oh, I didn't know this about you. I also am the same way. So maybe we should talk more. So that's what helps them bond more. And that's why people end up meeting offline as well. So what we are planning to do as the second area of improvement, excuse me, is to work on our DM related features, like give it more teeth in terms of modern chat features like voice notes, sharing of links within the chat itself, disappearing messages, right? All these kind of modern features that are there, we are planning to introduce those in our DMs. So that is the second area that we are working on, improving the DM. Now, the third area that we are working on in 2024, so we have introduced an in-app social currency called Quids, similar to Reddit's Karma Points. So when you engage within the app in a meaningful manner with other posts, replies and all, then you start earning those quids. Those quids help you get some premium feature access. For example, right now, you can use the basic DM, but if you have to send pictures within the DM, you will have to spend some amount of quids. To spend those amount of quids, you will have to earn those by engagement in the app. So that's and in the future, the new other features that we are planning to introduce in terms of voice notes, disappearing messages, in-app games and all will be driven by these quids. So earning quids will be very essential. So you will have to engage within the app. So using that quids, there are two advantages to that. Sorry?
No. Is that a way that you might be monetizing the app in the future?
No, we have already monetized the app. I can talk about it after this. But it is more about two parts. One part is when you earn the quids, right? And it's a hard-earned kind of social currency through your engagement. You value that. And since you value that, you behave better within the app, because if you misbehave, if you violate the rules and all, we can do two things. We can deduct your quids, which you have earned after engagement. So you will be wary of not like getting into trouble. Second part is if you are repeatedly, you are violating the rules, we can ban your account. And if you recreate your account from some other device, you would have lost all your quids that you would have earned by that point. But other than cancel culture, anonymity helps you talk about your mental health issues. It lets you vent about your bosses, about your job, about your life, about your life-related problems, family problems, whatever it is, right? And all of these things are things that you usually don't go talking about to your family, friends, co-workers, colleagues and all. Because again, like the question of feeling judged, ridiculed and all. So you're always like whispering in a hush-hush kind of tone you're talking about it. So that's where the name Hush comes from. So Hush, express freely.
But thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you so much for having me.